You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Preston Endress. A petition for dismissal has been withdrawn in the 2023 shooting case of a Spanish-language newspaper's owner. The defense attorney of Victor Perez was in court Wednesday stating that Perez will no longer pursue dismissal of an aggravated assault charge from the October 2023 incident. No reason was given for the withdrawal. Victor Perez is the president of the Dominican House of Hazleton. According to prosecutors, the shooting left Bernardo Perez, owner of El Periódico and no relation, permanently injured. Victor Perez claims that he acted out of self-defense and that Bernardo Perez was armed with a knife. The petition was also for a dismissal of terroristic threat charges alleging Victor Perez waved a gun and threatened to kill a woman in September of 2023. The withdrawal request was granted by a judge and a trial for the shooting was set for September 26. Victor Perez remains free on bail. A Luzerne County man who admitted to shooting and killing his brother will spend the next several years behind bars. 35-year-old John James Kilpatrick was sentenced Monday to 3.5 to 7 years behind bars for voluntary manslaughter in the death of his brother Kevin Kilpatrick. The shooting happened on August 2023 at a home on Chase Road in Jackson Township. Originally charged with third-degree murder, Kilpatrick pleaded guilty to a lesser charge in March. He told investigators he fired 2 shots after his brother allegedly threatened to kill him during an argument. Police say the brother was unarmed. Kilpatrick has already spent 441 days in jail, which will count toward his sentence. He could be eligible for parole in just 2 years. A former Butler Township man is behind bars tonight, facing charges related to child pornography. Luzerne County detectives say 25-year-old Dominic Murphy, now residing in Williamsport, was caught with more than a dozen images and videos involving child sexual abuse. Investigators say the case began in January when a messaging app flagged suspicious activity. 28 files believed to show child exploitation were uploaded from an IP address later traced back to Murphy. When questioned, detectives say Murphy admitted to using the app to view and request the illegal material. Murphy has been charged with 15 felony counts of possessing child pornography, along with 1 count of criminal use of a communication device. He was arraigned Tuesday and is currently being held at the Luzerne County Correctional Facility on a $100,000 bail. A longtime Berwick manufacturer is closing its doors in August, and hundreds of local residents will soon be out of work. Berwick Offray, which opened in Berwick back in 1945, has been a staple in ribbon and bow manufacturing for generations. The CEO, Sue Butcha, stated in a letter to the Pennsylvania Department of Labor that the closure was due to business needs. The letter lists all 3 sites in company controls, and an estimated 380 employees will be affected. State law says that companies with 100 employees or more are required to give 60 days notice before conducting mass layoffs or closing manufacturing plants. Coming up on WYLN News, power issues are still plaguing a local mall. Plus, local police want you to be cautious during your 4th of July celebrations. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
The trusted pediatric care you've come to know and love from Lehigh Valley Health Network is now being offered in a brand new, more convenient location. Now located at 1701 East Broad Street in Hazleton, our team of pediatric experts is ready to provide the comprehensive care your child deserves in a space that's built just for them. For hours or to schedule an appointment, visit lvhn.org/HazletonPeds. That's Hazleton PEDS, or call 888-402-LVHN today.
My name is Ellie, and tomorrow's going to be rainy.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, Go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Something is out there. What it is, no one knows. However, since its first sighting, there have been numerous reports of strange lights in the night sky. Some say they are extraterrestrials, flying saucers. But to all of those seemingly unrelated uncertainties, there is one common thread.
Solo Spaceman.
Watch Solo Spaceman on WYLN Thursdays at 1:30, Saturdays at 7, and Sundays at 4:30.
Welcome back to WYLN News. The power woes continue at Wyoming Valley Mall in Wilkes-Barre. The mall was shut down a week ago due to a major power outage, and officials were expecting equipment for repairs to arrive earlier this week. However, the mall announced on their Facebook page that they will still be closed Wednesday and Thursday due to what they call extensive electrical repairs. There is no word on when the work will be completed and when the mall will reopen. The Hazleton Police and Fire Departments are urging caution when setting off fireworks this 4th of July. Due to a 2022 update in Pennsylvania state law, it is illegal to discharge fireworks within 150 feet of a structure in densely populated municipalities. The Hazleton Police Chief says that means there is nowhere in Hazleton that it is legally okay to set off fireworks. He encourages residents to go to public shows instead of buying their own fireworks. Police and fire authorities will have extra patrols to look for offenders throughout the city on Friday. Using large fireworks or creating a nuisance can result in fines for disorderly conduct. Those fines can start at $300 with additional state and magistrate fees. Local leaders held a roundtable discussion in Butler Township Tuesday night to highlight impacts made by the Keystone Job Corps Center of northeastern Pennsylvania. The Job Corps program is a free federal educational and vocational training program aimed at helping young people who face barriers of employment. The Keystone Job Corps Center in Drums offers a variety of career resources and technical training programs. It teams up with local organizations and businesses to ensure area students will have the important skills they need in the future. U.S. Representative Rob Bresnahan led the discussion to emphasize the center's success stories and partnerships with businesses around Luzerne County area. An investigation is underway at Mohegan, Pennsylvania after state police say a counterfeit bill was used at the casino late last month. The State Police Bureau of Gaming Enforcement, which handles crimes on casino property, is looking into an incident that happened on the evening of June 26 at the Plains Township venue. According to troopers, a man tried to use a $100 bill at a slot machine. The machine then rejected that bill. He handed the bill to an attendant, who took it to the main cashier cage for verification. After closer inspection, the bill was determined to be counterfeit. Authorities say the man who passed the fake money has not yet been identified, and that no arrests have been made as of this broadcast. Officials remind the public that attempting to use counterfeit currency is a felony offense, and that it will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. This investigation remains ongoing. Coming up on Freeland's News Choice, we discuss summer safety on this week's Wellness Wednesday. Plus, Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Montoursville Part 3. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cheers Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cheers is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
Are you looking for a trustworthy publishing company to publish your book? One that understands the process and upholds Christian values in its business practices?
Introducing Covenant Books, an author-friendly publisher who shares your beliefs and wants to publish your story. Call us today to get a free author packet to help get you started.
We realize your book is unique, personal, and written with a higher purpose. That's the content we're looking for.
We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process with professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the industry.
Covenant distributes and sells your book online and in bookstores everywhere. We convert your book in ebook format and sell it on Amazon, Apple iTunes, and to these distributors. Our authors love us.
So if you've written a biography, a devotional, a memoir, self-help, or any genre, we can help. Be like these authors and get your book published and sold today.
Call right now for your free writer's guide.
1-800-215-3680.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@wylntv.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
On this week's show, Mary Haldeman's going to tell her story. A lot of painful arthritis, not better from other doctors, but gentle chiropractic care makes her feel much better. So tune in the show and hear Mary's story.
Hi, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm Lisa Marie, and as we're taping this, it's one of those beautiful rainy days in PA, like we get a couple days, but it is the season where the weather is getting nicer. We want to go outside and we want to enjoy it, but we want to do it safely. So I am here with my good friend Aaron Zarowski, who is a physician assistant here at LVPG Family Medicine on Claremont Avenue in hometown, but it's also 309. Welcome, Aaron.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
So let's look at, it's really getting nice out. We're going to go out. Maybe we're going to go camping. We're going to go for hikes. We are just going to go out and play in the beautiful weather. Give us some tips on taking care of ourselves.
Yeah, so definitely a lot of opportunity for safety outdoors. So one of the things we think about in Pennsylvania are ticks. So Pennsylvania actually leads the nation in Lyme disease cases. So definitely important to be vigilant for ticks, specifically deer ticks. When we think about Lyme disease spread, we think of really a bad disease that we have to be vigilant for. So when we think about the symptoms of Lyme disease, what to look out for, the classic bullseye rash, people get this really characteristic rash to be on the lookout for, but 1 in 5 people actually don't show that sign of a rash. So even despite that, you have to be vigilant. So symptoms of Lyme disease could include the rash, but it could include joint pains or muscle pains, fatigue or tiredness, and even really severe complications like cardiac or neurologic manifestations. So really something to be vigilant about.
Wow. So how do we prevent this?
So there's a couple, so there's definitely a couple things we could think about. So the biggest thing we think about is insect repellent and general precautions as well, like avoidance. So when we think about the insect repellent, we think about products that contain DEET or DEET. That has been shown to really reduce tick bites and the spread of even other insects, biting ants, mosquitoes. But yeah, DEET can be applied for individuals 2 months and older. So it is safe for even infants.
I know I've heard a lot of different things back and forth about DEET, so it's good to hear that it is safe.
It is considered safe 2 months and older, so definitely something I recommend. But if you're in the woods or a high-risk area, you're gardening, you're camping, you want to do skin checks. You want to make sure you're catching these ticks, because if they're burrowed in your skin for greater than 24 hours, that's really when this Lyme can spread.
Right, right. And I've had one myself, many years ago, so I do understand the importance of it.
Yes.
So what else can we look out for during this beautiful weather?
So we have to think about sun safety as well. So although tick season is among us, there's other precautions we need to take. So we really want to think about sun safety. I generally will recommend SPF 50 and above for most individuals 6 months and older. So in our infants, we're really looking at long shirts, long sleeves, coverings, but really sunscreen is key.
And how about reapplying? Is there
Generally every 30 minutes to an hour. If you're in the water, we're probably going to say closer to 30 minutes, but outside probably every hour. So reapplication is really key, probably something that a lot of us miss out on. But when we think about skin cancer prevention, that's going to be really key and really important.
Absolutely. So, one thing I always worried about when I had small children and now that I have grandchildren is water play, going swimming. You would see things saying, you should wear a certain color bathing suit so you stand out more, but there's other things that have to do with water safety.
Yeah, and another great topic to talk about, water safety, extremely important. But it's not only important for children, but adults too. So just to give you some data, in children ages 1 to 4, drowning is the leading cause of death. In children ages 5 to 14, it's the second leading cause of death. And when we look at adults, over 55, it's actually in the top 4 in terms of leading cause of death. So it's not necessarily just something we think about with children. Certainly in children, the main things really are supervision and flotation. So when we think about keeping a close eye on our kids in terms of flotation, that could be a life jacket or floaties. So something that's going to help kids who maybe don't swim too well. In adults, in the adult population, drugs and alcohol, unfortunately, are a major cause of drowning. So, abstinence of these substances for other health reasons, but certainly in this context, very important. So really it's important for kids and adults to be safe out there in the water.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I really, focused my mind on kids, but you're right. And I didn't know the statistics the way they were. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, it is significant. So yeah, I think, between tick prevention, sun care and water safety, these are really the most important things to be on the lookout for in these summer months. So obviously we want to enjoy ourselves, we want to have fun, but we also want to be safe. So that's why I wanted to talk about this today.
Well, thank you so much for all this wonderful information, educating you, letting you know a little bit more about things maybe you already knew, maybe you weren't aware, like those statistics. So, thank you so much again.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Wellness Wednesday.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I end up going to a dentist and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found this, the Brux night guard. This was a game changer. It's smaller than other night guards that I tried, which is a good thing because it doesn't make me gag. It could fit on the top or the bottom of the teeth. It's lightweight and super comfortable. Now the Brux night guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to bruxnightguard.com and order yours today. Your teeth will thank you for it in the morning.
Go to bruxnightguard.com and use the promo code to activate your special TV offer. That's bruxnightguard.com. Order today and take advantage of this special TV offer. Your teeth will thank you for it in the morning.
Hello, I'm Wyln historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns.
My name is Eddie, and tomorrow's going to be rainy.
A Path Through History is sponsored by the Old Jail Museum, 128 West Broad Street in Jim Thorpe. Call 570-325-5259 or visit them online at theoldjailmuseum.com.
When Europeans first landed on the shores of America, the passenger pigeon was among the most common birds of the American skies. Flocks of the birds numbering in the billions sometimes took days to pass over a location. Believing there would be no danger to the bird's overall population, settlers hunted them mercilessly, sometimes using extreme methods such as sulfur and cannons to kill the pigeons, which during the slavery era was often the only food that slaves ate. What the hunters did not know is that the passenger pigeons needed the huge flocks to be able to effectively reproduce. As the carnage continued unabated throughout the 19th century, they started diminishing rapidly. While some huge flocks could still be found in the 1870s, by the following decade they were starting to become rare, and by the time humans realized there was a danger of losing the birds forever, it was too late. The last fully verified passenger pigeon in Pennsylvania was shot by Frank Cushing Norris in Canadensis, Monroe County in October 1896, 4 years before the death of the last fully verified wild passenger pigeon in Ohio. It is possible, however, that several of the birds lived on for a short while in the Keystone State afterwards. In a report written around 1919, Henry Shoemaker told of elderly Jack Kramer, who in the early 1900s supposedly raised 10 captive passenger pigeons in his cabin along Loyalsock Creek, above Montoursville. By New Year's Eve 1908, though, only 3 of them were left, and when a cat ate one of the birds that night, Kramer, stricken with grief and believing his efforts to be meaningless, killed and stuffed the last 2 pigeons. As Shoemaker was well known for making up some of his stories, perhaps most notably the legends of Princess Nittany and her doomed romance with trapper Malachi Boyer, this story should be taken with a grain of salt, particularly since Shoemaker would have had the means to fully verify the story of Kramer's birds and apparently did not. It is not out of the question, however, that a few of the last passenger pigeons may have slipped under the radar and were cared for in remote wooded locations. The very last passenger pigeon, named Martha in honor of Martha Washington, died at the Cincinnati Zoo on September 1, 1914, the last of billions of birds that once roamed America's skies, and a cautionary tale of the price of man's thoughtlessness. Efforts are under consideration at the moment, however, to try and genetically breed the passenger pigeon back into existence. The hills around the Montoursville area have been rich with lime, which had many uses in whitewashing cabins, making mortar, and improving farmers' fields. On the road between Montoursville and Williamsport, the Sandhill Lime Kiln operated for many decades. The limestone brought to the facility would be burned for 72 hours to get rid of its carbon dioxide. What was left after it was burned was then transported to customers. The Sandhill complex was largely obliterated when the highway was widened in the mid-20th century, although the remains of one of the kilns can still be seen along the road today. In Montoursville, business still prospered in the 1920s. Eater's Ice Cream opened its doors in 1927 and continues serving the community with its wares today. Williamsport Airport in Montoursville opened on July 20th, 1929, in a ceremony attended by 25,000 people. It was the brainchild of former World War I ace Cleo Pinot. An On to Williamsport air race was held to mark the opening, which was won by Kansas City's F.W. Soule. Amelia Earhart was also at the airport's opening ceremony. Williamsport Airport continues to serve Montoursville and the region today, following heavy improvements in recent years. Sylvania opened a factory on Broad Street in Montoursville in 1942, making camera flash bulbs. Beginning in 1947, the Norway spruce in front of the factory, which had been planted by high school Donald Ulmer in 1934 when his house had stood there, was decorated for Christmas. For generations, the tree has been a beloved symbol of the holidays for Montoursville residents, and even though the Sylvania factory closed in 1989, by which time it was the last factory in America to make FF33 flash bulbs, the tree is still lit every December, bringing holiday cheer to all who come to see it. For moviegoers, the Laura Theater opened April 18, 1947, with Robert Mitchum's Pursued, as well as a cartoon and newsreel. It was built by Peter Magazu, whose family also owned the Angela Theater in Coaldale and the Andrea Theater in Catawissa, and the Laura had capacity for 650 guests. The Laura Theater was owned in later years by ABC Theaters of Pennsylvania. In 1976, it switched to showing pornographic films, which continued until the theater closed in 1979. It reopened as a live theater in 1980, but this closed 4 years later. Retail stores now stand where the Laura Theater's former site. A noted musician made his home in Montoursville beginning in the 1920s. John Hazel had been born in Bellefonte in 1865. He learned how to play cornet on his own and make his debut as part of Stopper's band in Williamsport when the latter played for the 1876 centennial in that city. Hazel made his first solo show at Atlantic City's Albion Hotel in 1876. He joined Williamsport's famous Rapaz band in 1887, eventually becoming its lead musician. 1891 saw him working notably with Patrick Gilmore's 22nd Regiment Band in New York City. By 1903, he was making some of the earliest phonograph recordings of music with the Edison Phonograph Studios. Hazel was named conductor of the Rapaz Band in 1910, a title he would hold for the next 30 years. In this capacity, he would introduce the band to John Philip Sousa, who had proclaimed Hazel one of the best cornetists he'd seen in action, and the Rapaz Band played many of Sousa's marches during the latter's only visit to Williamsport in 1915. Hazel purchased a house on Mill Street in Montoursville in 1923 and continued writing his own marches, including Rapaz Centennial March and Salute to Williamsport. He retired in 1941 and died in 1948. John Hazel rests today in Williamsport's Wildwood Cemetery. In October 1948, Beatrice Lovell of Williamsport died at age 48. She was laid to rest in Montoursville Cemetery. Shortly thereafter, passersby reported seeing a young boy in the cemetery frequently. One day, Montoursville Catholic Church pastor T. Otto Bohr picked the boy up along the side of the road where he had been walking. It was Beatrice's youngest son Bobby, age 11, who told the minister he wanted to put flowers on his mother's grave, but as it was unmarked at the time, he wasn't sure where it was. Touched, Reverend Bohr took the request to Montoursville Police Chief Stanley C. Zartman, who was able to locate Beatrice's exact final resting place. J. E. Gibbons Tombstone Company of Williamsport, upon hearing of the story, offered Bobby the chance to pick a tombstone for his mother among their stock, and Susquehanna contractors collected enough donations to be able to purchase Beatrice's plot and provide it with perpetual care. Word of the boy's wish also made newspapers across the country. By the end of 1949, Bobby had received over 500 Christmas cards and gifts from well-wishers. He would go on to have a long career in the Susquehanna Valley in his adult years as DJ Rockin' Bob. Bobby Lovell died in 2024 and rests today himself in Muncie's Twin Hills Memorial Park.